Yo fam, what's good? Welcome back to another video. This one here is for you Titans out there that don't have great subclasses, or you're not 100% sure on your builds, and you want something that's going to keep you alive a little easier, and you want to do some harder content, but you don't have all the fancy mods and all the fancy exotics. This is the starting point for you. As I said, I'm going to make one for every single character, and this is the Titan, which is probably one of the cool ones. And the reason I think this one's a unique and cool one is you have so many ways to survive, and you can also help your teammates out as well, which is always a bonus if you're doing things like raids and stuff and GMs. But basically what's going to happen here is same thing, Devour, and that's why I picked the Void subclass specifically, is all three of the characters now have Devour since Void 3.0 came out. It did start off with Warlocks, and it is probably one of the most underutilized perks and the most easiest way possible to stay alive. You can see there, boom, instant health regeneration all the way back to full health. And I'm going to show you guys how you can continually proc this, and why I think Void is still one of the best 3.0 subclasses that we've got. You have so many ways to survive on this Titan, and as I said, I'm not running any exotics, and the mods and perks and stuff that I've picked are yours to choose, basically. Outside of the Devour one, you can really run whatever you like. I love the fact that you can drop down a barricade, you've got that instant regeneration, and you've got that instant overshield, which is going to help you tank even more damage. As I said, your teammates still benefit from it as well, which is kind of cool. Now, here is the loadout, and it's super basic. As I said, we've got a bubble, we've got a barricade, and we have a vortex grenade. Vortex is one of my favorites. Bastion, casting your barricade grants overshield to yourself and nearby allies. That's the big one, right? And they can dip backwards and forwards and keep picking up the overshield. While you have an overshield or are inside a ward of dawn, your grenade charges significantly faster and you have increased melee range. Once again, massive benefit. Echo of persistence, your invisibility overshields and stuff last longer. Echo of starvation is the big one. That's the one there where you get a orb of power and you get Devour. That's probably the only one that is must have on this build. Harmonic Siphon. Now, if you have a Void weapon and you get rapid kills, you create an Orb of Power. That is how you get your first Orb of Power, then proc your Devour, and you just get kills from there. Now, if you're not going to run a Void weapon, you can also use the other ones, the other Siphons as well, for kinetic, and then obviously picking Solar or something like that, you can do the exact same thing. So pick that based on your weapons. Now, everything else here is pretty much replaceable, right? I picked Void legs specifically because I usually run my Well of Tenacity or my Protective Light, and I also run Better Already, which you don't really need with Devour, which is a nice way to bump your health when you pick up an orb. But this build is literally all around you guys just customizing to yourself. The only thing that I would say is 100% something you want to try to achieve is to try and achieve 100 resilience on all of your characters for PvE, and that's because the 40% damage reduction that you get is overpowered. It's ridiculously great. Resilience wasn't always good. They've gone and increased it to 40% damage resistance, and I think that is a really cool thing for survivability. So no matter the class, I think running 100 resilience or as close to as possible is one of the things that you need to make sure you're staying alive. And on a Titan, it gives you your barricade quicker, so it is kind of the one stat that I would say 100% focus on a Titan build. But you can see here the progression build. I'm chucked on an exotic, so I've got Mask of the Quiet One, and I also have on a Gjallarhorn. Now, Gjallarhorn I still think is probably one of the most easiest, and it's just ridiculous. It's broken. It really is. The exotic itself, it has so much potential. You can you throw it at the champions and bosses and stuff, and then it'll kill all the little ads around it. It was great in D1, and it's fantastic in D2. If you don't have it, as I said before, you can run whatever exotic you're comfortable with running. You've got Thunderlord and things like that are still fantastic exotics to run for ad clear and stuff. So pick and choose as you like. I chose Mask of the Quiet One, once again building into that recovery and survivability. But there are many other exotics you run. You don't even have to run an exotic at all. That's the beauty of it. So, have a play around, see what exotics suit you. Let me know in the comments what exotic you like to run. You have so many good exotics with Titan to run and have some fun with as well. But this build, as I said, you can see here the difference in the progression, the ease of being able to clear stuff with the exotic, specifically the Gjallarhorn. You just been able to just take down, you stun your champions, and you can throw a rocket at them and take them down pretty easy. Now I'm trying to, in this video, try and muck around a little bit and show you guys how keeping Devour propped and things like that helps you to stay alive. Normally I would just go in and go ham with rockets and stuff as soon as I start a champion and kill them. But I wanted to do things like that there where I could cast my barricade and show you how quickly you could survive an instance where it hit the fan pretty quickly. So, you know, enjoy the build. I think it's a great starting point for everybody on our Titan if you've never been. Or hell, you might not run Void at all and you've underutilized how the potential is of Void. So, you know, once again, I haven't changed any of this build at all other than the exotics, and I went from running Charge with Light mods to some elemental well mods. I prefer elemental wells. I think they have such a great uptime with ability regeneration and well of tenacity and things like that. Font of Wisdom is pretty well a must for me, but you can see here the helmet grants ability and you gain health and stuff once you get critically wounded. But Ashes to Assets, Font of Wisdom is 2 of the perks that I run on pretty much nearly all of my subclasses, especially if I want to be getting my super back super quick. Font of Wisdom gives you 100 intellect anytime you pick up an elemental well. Elemental ordnance right there is how you generate. So throw a grenade, you generate a guaranteed elemental well. Bountiful Wells allows you to stack those, but it also generates an additional well as well. So you'll get 2 when you get a grenade kill. And then here we're running into, once again, the mod Well of Tenacity. So all playing into that damage reduction so you can take more damage, making content easier for yourself. You can also stack those as well with elemental time dilation and stuff, but you don't need to. But this is the build. Bomber, obviously you drop down the barricade, you get your class ability back quicker. One of my favorite perks as well for your class item. And once again, Galahorn is one of the easiest exotics to use. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the content. I love making this kind of video for you guys. If you do appreciate it, please smash a thumbs up. Please consider following, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay groovy, stay safe. As always, deuces.